guys, and welcome back to MineCraze, Terra Nochsta. It has been a bit of a while and I'm kinda sorry about that, but my hard drive was full so I couldn't record anymore. And yeah, I managed to buy a new one, a portable external one that I can just plug in and clear some space now. But yeah, I bought it secondhand off eBay and it also had some issues getting that sorted, so it's nearly a month already since the last episode I recorded. It shouldn't be too much of a bother in terms of delay because I'm pretty sure no one's actually watched the other videos, so there's probably no one who's been sitting around waiting for it or anything. But I have made a whole bunch of progress on the world which you're not going to see the process of. But I will just now take you around for a bit of a tour and I'll show you what I have done and what I've accomplished. So here we go, the view from the top. You can see a bunch of stuff. You can see the old Hall of Enchantment just up over there. Same place it used to be. There's some other stuff there we'll get to, the tree farm and stuff. Over there there's a big sheep face on the cliff and a building above it. There's my flag looking over everything. Just in the corner around there you can just see the cactus farm and the aqueduct coming down there and all sorts like that, and the valleys pretty much the same sort of stuff. So let's get this slow wobbly camera off and I'll take you down there and we'll go down this way. I was testing before a nice way of just jumping off the cliff and landing in the water, but I died twice trying to find that and wasn't successful. So lost a whole bunch of experience which I was going to use as well. So yeah, I got some more which I'll again show you. So yes, this place has changed. There's a nice path here and a road. Well, yeah, the gravel path. Gravel makes quite nice pathways. A bridge taking you up here, and here is my front door, which as you can see looks like my flag. It was a nice odd number of the space there, and I thought, well, it would be nice to fit a 3x3 door there, but I want something that would open it quickly and fast and automatically, and 3x3 doors don't really do that, so I thought, what about a 3x2 door? Should look low and silly. Then I realised, well, my flag is 3x2, so I could do that and it wouldn't look quite so low and silly. So I've done that, and to be pimping I made it out of diamond blocks. So that opens, and here we are in here again. It's looking a lot different, really. There's our cactus farm spot. Now reed farm, you can see we've got this tunnel, you can see it's all nice and polished. Haven't quite finished this passage. This wall's not really done. I'll probably have some different light sources instead of those torches. Here's our control panel, and it's currently working. The clock is. I did change some of the circuit for the reset because it had a really big redundancy and it was doing a thing inside a thing and all resetception stuff. So I had a look at the circuit and figured out how to do it much better. And this red light here is for the melon farm, which I've installed. The concept is basically the same as the reed farm, using the clock that sends a pulse to check when it's full, and when it's full the light comes on and plays a tune, and then I can press the button and get more melons. Like so. And again, I was not going to put ice in there because I thought it's only 10 blocks long of melons, so I thought without the ice it probably won't be much of a problem. But I tested it and it was just too long to wait, so I put ice in there as well. And here's where I'm going to put a pumpkin farm, so it'll be symmetrical to that one. It's exactly the same, pretty much, just a mirror image. So this is here. In here there's now a big flipping room instead of that little cavey passage. And you can see the zombie spawner thing, experience farm, works pretty much the same, or exactly the same, using some fences here and stuff. I don't really use it much anymore, and you'll find out why, but again, this light switch flips off all the lights. These two lights also get activated by that switch, and all the other lights are far enough away that no light gets in there for maximum smallage. Creepy music. And there's some paintings here, which I stuck on the wall, and there's a nice little, this is my infinite water source. Very nice, it's just a little slot in the wall you can pull as much water as you like out of. There's a bed to sleep in. There's a wall with furnaces and a workbench in it. Jukebox to play a record like this one I found in a dungeon. And this here is my storeroom. And I've got chests for everything imaginable. I think anything else I can just stick in miscellaneous. But yeah. that's pretty much everything. I got a brewing stand here, which is temporary, just to do some temporary brewing. This storeroom has a rather nice feature, which is my most recent addition. If I get a torch there and a torch there, and then if I break them, starting with this one, there's an awesome secret hidden stowaway in the floor, which comes down here, and there's nothing here yet. But I'm probably going to put I'll probably move my nether portal down here and maybe stick a brewing potion room button here so you can close and open it from inside. And you just do the same thing to close it up. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. The design for the stairs is pretty much CNB's design. Oops, I did that too slowly. But yeah, the stairs, I just watched his video. His has an extra thing on the end to make it slightly less of a head bonking at the end when you come down in a hurry. But I did it so it's just 4 long, so it fits nicely in this design in the carpet. Alright. So I mentioned last time about this tunnel I was going to build, which as you saw is now built, and that I wanted to put an elevator to get up to the top of the hill, and I've done that. It goes here. This is just opens out into the mid space here. I'll make it more fancy and whatever later once I get around to working on that. But here we have there's a passage. This will fork to different places. This pretty much just goes to the other side of the hill, off in that direction. You can see I'm now using map 3. I lost my map 0 and my map 1 and my map 2 apparently. So yeah, it's a bit sad, but here's the elevator, which is I think based on BrowsOfSteel. He's the guy who invented that concept. I'll just sleep really quick. There's a bed and stuff here, which will again tidy up and probably put in a better place. But yes, I did a slight variation on that design, however. In the circuitry, I managed to save 4 redstone dust per level, which is exceedingly awesome because this height, I think it's round about 32, so that's quite a lot of redstone I saved if it's 4 dust per level and then a 32 level, so about 2 stacks of redstone dust. Redstone's not that hard to come by, but it's a real pain when you run out. Little overlook thing. So yeah, this fits me up here, the glowstone pushes me out, and these trapdoors are just so I can't accidentally fall down. Or what was actually happening half the time was that I'd want to go down and just jump down and realise, no, that's not the way down, this is the way down here. So I got a gate there so I can't accidentally fall down when I don't want to. I was thinking about putting a pressure plate here, so I would just open it, I don't have to do that all the time. Then I realised it was really stupid to go to all the effort, let's make a gate, put it across the front to stop people from accidentally falling in, and then let's put a pressure plate so it automatically opens, so as soon as they're near it falls in, they die. Well, they don't die because it's water at the bottom. Let's just do a safe drop down here. Now, the water here is 4 blocks below it. So, as you saw then, I didn't take any damage from that. But sometimes I think if I'm a little bit higher when I fall in, this is high enough that I can start to take a little bit of damage. But that's not much of a problem as I jump as I go in. Another cool feature about this elevator is this button here. If I don't want to go all the way to the top, it stops me off here and crushes me inside this glass. And I can get off here at the alcove, which is this nice little place. There's nothing really here yet, but I have an idea of what something I'm going to build into there. And around the back there's just a little balcony thing, which again needs a lot of decoration to make it look nice. Which is something I'll do in the future. And from here, you can't go up from here, you have to go all the way down again. Now there is one slight problem with this elevator, and I'm not sure if it's because of my variation of the wiring or just the thing itself, but sometimes it drops me and I fall randomly. I just get stuck and drop, and often it's high enough that I die. So I'm not sure again whether that's my wiring. Maybe I'm just not quite properly centered in the thing or anything like that. So no idea about that, but I've managed to get by. Yes, from the top you saw I had that sheep face on the side of the hill and this building above it. And you can hear as I come in, it's really loud with sheep. Drives you balmy. But yes, this is a really cool design I had for a wall. Let's turn this volume down a bit, because I don't want to have to yell over it. There's lots and lots of sheep. We've got sheep of all 16 colours. There are 5 sheep of each colour. Now the original idea was exceedingly awesome. It was like these guys. You can see there's glass above all their heads. And the idea is they just get stuck in the glass, and as you can see they sit very still, very nicely. They sometimes jump up and down a little bit, but the glass holds them in place. Which is awesome. But you see these guys don't have glass, and the reason for that is because sometimes after logging out or logging in or walking away and coming back, some of the sheep would get out and escape or suffocate in the wall or something, which is really annoying and it's a bug. But basically I just decided, hang it, let's not put the glass there anymore, because that just keeps happening and then it's a real pain to get them back. Whereas in this case, sometimes they can still manage to escape, but if they do, they're all running free. As you can see, there's only 4 of these blue guys, but it's really easy now. We can just do that, and there is now the appropriate number. So that's what happened there, and chests inside to store all the wool. It's color-coded along the ceiling, so from here I can easily see, that's where that guy got to. You know the penalty for escaping. Color-coded on the ceiling, I can easily see I want the light grey wool, it's over here, I want the purple, it's in that row, and from here above it's all color-coded. So it's really easy to find the colour wool I want if I want to shear the sheep. These guys keep escaping. Oh no, there's all of you there, never mind. Anyway, so I can just do that. And out this side there's a little balcony with a nice view and a painting of a possum. Or a painting of a photo of a possum. And there's some suicidal sheep sitting on a mountain that have been there for a while. Since I used to have sheep running free here before there was a farm. And yes, they got around to the edges. And I promised I was going to show you the Hall of Enchantment, so I might as well do that now. I could do it later, but we'll do it now while I'm up here. I think I'm going to make myself another iron pickaxe. I'm a bit low on diamonds at the moment. Probably my front door had something to do with that. But let's make an iron one. The Hall of Enchantment. Now, you've probably seen designs for enchantment rooms with the levers and stuffs to adjust the amount of enchantment you're doing, the level. Mine's a bit fancier than that. Well, not really. But first I'll show you the outside. And you can see that it's all nicely contained within this one building. And the space underneath it, all the wiring and stuff. It fits very nicely in here. As in, that's like crammed it in with a ramrod sort of thing. But it fits all within this space, which is just beautiful. It just looks like a nice building from the outside, but inside, as I said, fully customizable. There are 5 total different levels you can set it on, which I'll show you. Inside, again, this might look nice with glowstone instead of jack-o'-lanterns, but some of them have redstone on top. Like those 3, I think, on each side. There's a pressure plate here, which is mainly for the purpose of exiting. A room with buttons. Let's go look at the actual room itself. There's nice vines hanging over the doorway, and there's a nice big view of the sky. The vines grow all over the bookshelves, which is a bit of a pain, but it's okay. As you see, these bookshelves aren't actually in range of the enchantment table anyway. And yes, nice glass floor down to lava drop to make the whole thing look impressive. So yes, the vines grow all the way down, but that's okay. Say we want to enchant something, which we do. As I said, I had a pickaxe to show you. Let's try level 1. So default's level 0, no bookshelves. Level 1, we have 7 bookshelves at the back. And we can now get levels of around 7, 9, even up to 12 if you're lucky. So there's that. But say we want to go a bit higher, and we do. Let's go to level 2. Now we have 15 bookshelves. We've got another 8 pulled around the back. And we can see we're now getting 14s easy, 20 up to 26 even. Level 3. We now have another 7 up the back and on the top layer now. Up to 30, 15, 19, 23. So that sort of layer. And if we put on our level 4, which is our maximum, we now have the full 30 bookshelves. And as you can see, when you push them out, they break the vines anyway. So, let's see if I can get a level 40. Brilliant. First off, and the writing. And as this is part of my texture pack, all the lettering's in my own alphabet, which is a made-up language of mine, Nodalish. So, I just love reading these, just to see what the enchantment's called, even though it doesn't mean anything. Well, let's see if I can figure this out. Self-Klatu, that's right, that's one of those fancy words that means something or a reference to something. Self-Klatu no. L-I-M I don't know. Limited of. Self-Klatu limited of. I've had much funnier ones, but yes, I like reading that anyway. Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3, not bad. Not quite as awesome as my mining diamond pickaxe that I have, but Fortune 3, yeah, I'll have to check that other one. I think I still have it over in one of my places. And stepping on the pressure pad here resets everything back to level 0. And these buttons work in any order. You can just go straight up to level 3 if you want. To level 2. Let's go to level 4. So you don't have to step them up in the order. You just straight hit the button you want. It goes to that level. No wazzes at all. So that is, I think, really awesome and nice. So I'm very happy with that enchantment. 4. Sun's getting a little bit low. Let's just hop down here again. And I'll show you the... Well, I'll go up to the tree farm, I guess. Let's close these doors just because we can. Here's another elevator. This time it's a different design. I used Etho's spiral staircase because it's pretty nice and efficient. It's not as fast, it's a bit jerky, you go around the place, but it works. And again, I'm probably basically going to have several different elevator designs that I use around the place. I'm probably eventually might have another elevator over there for various purposes or whatever. So this is my tree farm design. It's a nice little glass dome thing with trees in it, which is pretty compact. You can fit a lot of trees. All the trees grow to within a height that you can reach the top of without having to jump up on anything. They won't all grow at once. Most of them will. You've got a bunch that don't. So workbench here you can use for whatever purposes. The only problem I think that annoys me about this design is that some of the leaves will often grow outside the dome. I think I've already gone and pruned them down. Most of them. There might be some around there. But that's a little bit annoying. They just stick out and look ugly. But other than that, it's a nice little glass dome with trees in it. This path just goes around the back and behind up to the other lookout place where we just were. So you can just walk along the hilltop if you're already up there or along underneath. And again, same system for the drop system. Fence gate, you drop down here. I'll show you something cool about this painting. Now, you've probably seen the idea of putting secret stuff behind paintings before. This is not much different, and again, if, like most people do, you come in and just knock off all the paintings because there's probably a secret there. It's like, oh, a painting, let's knock it off and see the secrets. You're gonna see it. But, unlike most secret entrances behind paintings, where you can just step through or nudge along here, this one's a little bit more tricky. It doesn't have a switch or anything to open, but it's, first of all, it's higher up, so you have to jump into it. But as you notice, I'm still not finding it very easy, because normally you'd say, which block is it? Is it this one? No, it's not. It's not here. It's very cleverly spaced exactly between these two blocks, so if you don't know exactly where to jump, and sometimes even if you do, it's very tricky to accidentally find it. Basically, yeah, these fence gates here make it very picky sideways. Like, even if it was a normal one block gap, you'd have a little room for variation because these stick out a bit. It's a very, like, 4 pixels worth of space that you have to fit through to get in. So, that is pretty nice. And at the moment it's just maintenance. This is for that secret switch in the storage room that does all that. And you can get down here and the wiring for the staircase. But yeah, And here you can see the edge of that block. This is where the pumpkin farm's going to go when I get around to it. And I'll probably do videos of that sometime. I'm not in a hurry to do it because I don't have a great need for pumpkin. And yeah, maintenance access takes you down to the clock. You can go over there to the reed farm. This is an utter mess of stuff everywhere for melon farm and the clock resetter. I won't show it all to you now, but you get the gist of it. I want to put a trapdoor there, but at the moment, with these lack of hitboxes, you wouldn't be able to get out. So I've got a ladder there for a minute. But as soon as the next update hits and the hitboxes are fixed, I am going to put a trapdoor there instead. What the hell are you doing here, mate? And again, there's still the remains of my wheat farm there, which is my only wheat farm. I still want to build a proper automatic one somewhere. I'll just show you some of the stuff I've got done in the nether. I've just got a few vines and trees in here and grass just because I can. I don't think I have my silk touch pick. I think I lost that. There's a tunnel which I'll show you from the other side later. But as you can see, there's a bridge. There's a bridge over all the lava which goes over to this fortress. Pretty standard nether fortress ruins affair. Nothing particularly fancy except my Blaze experience farm, which is the main thing that's here. There's vines growing over here. Again, I just planted some random vines. I thought vines are nice to have, so we'll plant a few so we can farm some. You can hear there's a bunch of ghasts around. I've got a small nether wart farm before I build a fancy one. Again, temporary. A bit more grass and stuff. I was having a field day with that. And yeah, a few random trees growing in here. There is actually a blaze spawner right over there as well. And yeah, this is the one I'm using. But this one was just not close enough to be able to connect them both together. So I've got it blocked off at the moment. And I've got an idea, maybe in the future I'll do something like a blaze arena. Either one where I can just battle blazes until I die, just for the fun of it. Or possibly I'm thinking where you can do battle matches between blazes and snow golems. Because snowballs will hurt blazes, and so I can just let a bunch of each in and let them juke it out. But this is my experience farm, and it's basically Etho's design in the cone shape thing. I don't have the pistons in it that push them down at the moment, but I think I'll want to do that in the future. This one's controlled a little bit differently. There's just two levers. This one controls the lava that pours in, so that'll shut it off, flipping it up. As you can see, it's starting to drop down. That lets it back down. This is the lever that does all the crushiness. You flip it up and it does the crushing. It pops in, the wall pops back. This is probably seen. If you haven't seen Etho's video, I'll put a link to it. And then the crushers pop open and the lever flips that back. So instead of having the two buttons, one to open or one to close and crush and one to open again, there's just the lever which does both. I made that nice and efficient. And a chest, temporarily, but I've been using these splash potions because you can kill them all at once, which is really nice. That's about everything to show you in the nether at the moment. So here we are again out the front. There's this nice road that we came along on at the start. I probably will have it going off to other things over this side as well because it looks a bit weird like this. But again, this is our bridge. And we'll see what's at the other end of this road. It actually goes nowhere at the moment. Well, it goes. You'll find out. That's a bit of a deliberately misleading statement because it's not true. Well, it is true, in a sense. In a sense that it's not true if truthfulness is relative, depending on. And there's another bridge here, over an icy river. Icy river. And the map's jerking around like crazy and giving you a headache. And you can just see the top of the tree farm and all that from here, which is kind of cool. And vice versa, if you're up there you can just see it. If I had graphics on far, then it'll be even better view, of course, but I don't at the moment. I have it on sometimes. It's just sometimes it starts randomly. Why is there a torch on the path? Because I found out that I had the 32-bit version of Java on, and that's what it just does automatically because most people use 32-bit browsers anyway. even if they're using 64-bit machines or something weird like that. So I'd been using the 32-bit version, and now I've upgraded to the 64-bit version. When I found that out, I've been doing a lot better in terms of crashes and hardly had as many. So that's really nice, and I can often play on far, but sometimes it still goes randomly laggy and I don't. But it's not too much of a difference. There's a random wolf. I got one bone. Let's give him a bone and throw my melons on the ground. Are you going to take it? Nah. There's always wolves around here anyway. We'll see a whole bunch. But yes. So I've discovered though, even with the clock sometimes going away and coming back, still breaks it. So they haven't quite fixed it. They fixed that where logging out and logging in will automatically break it, but it still sometimes does. So the reset function is still necessary. So as you can see, the road goes nowhere, it ends. Because the place it's going to go to is just right over there, and I'm not exactly sure where it wants to come in yet. So I've stopped it there for now until I've done some more work on this place. Which, as you can see, there's a heck of a lot of trees about, which is because I'm going to need a heck of a lot of wood. And once I've got all that, the trees are mostly temporary. I'll leave a few here and there. It's decorative things, and there's a beacon post here. That was so I could find the spot more easily. Also I could recognize it as being this exact spot. A lot of trees, a lot of pine trees. Not so many of these trees anymore. I had heaps. I've chopped most of them down. But we'll get to that. As you can see, a lot of dogs that I found in that spot I mentioned earlier. As you can see, we're over here on the map. Right on the edge of a huge, massive ocean. And there's a thing which looks suspiciously like a sort of a harbour wharf jetty thing. Which I'm going to use this to build a cool secret project, which you could probably guess what it is going to be. Of course, there's lots of cool facts about it that you won't be able to guess. But you'll have to wait for that. So I'm planning to build that here. I have actually built it in creative mode already, pretty much. But I want to build it for real. And there's a smaller thing for smaller boats. Small boats. No, there's nothing about smaller. There's no large boats being mentioned. No, none at all. I'm going to leave my map behind because I don't really need it where I'm going. And which means I probably won't find it again for a while until I come back here. And we're going sailing in this small boat. And again, this doesn't look like much. I want to turn it into a little tiny harbour town type place, maybe a few buildings and things. Make it look all pretty like a real harbour type place. But at the moment that's not my priority. My priority has been getting, well, a whole heap of gunpowder mostly. So I've been working on a mob spawner farm thing. But I've had a lot of problems with it. Because I was looking at Kapitan Walnut's videos, he's got a few ideas there. And first I used his checkerboard design, which was sort of nice, except for currently there's problems. That thing where if you're far enough away, mobs don't really move. And if you're too close, then they don't spawn at all. So finding the balance between that didn't really work. I'd get like heaps pouring in for a bit, and then they just stop. And the other problem was the thing with signposts. I think in the next update, mobs don't like walking off cliffs with signposts like they used to. They used to treat it as a whole block and say, I'm not jumping off there. But now I think they don't, from the tests I did in my creative mode test that I did with a new snapshot. So what I did with the mob farm was, instead of doing that, was to just make all the drops 3 high so that they'd jump off anyway. Which I thought, Enderman won't be able to fit that there, but that's okay. When I want an Enderman farm, an Enderpearl farm, I'll just build it in the end and kill that old dragon chap. The problem was that I'd forgotten, or hadn't realised that, yes, I was blocking it so that they couldn't all fall down. And ooh, we can see it coming into view. I've built it on sort of like a bit like an oil rig, except it's more of a gunpowder rig. It's crazy. It's awesome. There's vines all down that side. But yes, the problem was I hadn't actually stopped the Enderman from spawning in it, just from being able to get out. So the whole thing, after I had it on for like ages, was chockers full of Endermen. So that's one problem, as well as the whole wandering thing. So yeah, Nether portal, so I can quickly go through that tunnel I mentioned earlier. This is my mining pickaxe. Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3. So this isn't bad, but that one's diamond as well, and it has the efficiency. And there's one I want to repair that or something, because it's nearly broke. That's the only 2 diamonds I currently have left, I think. Kinda sucks. Anyway, so as I said, with the spawner up there, it wasn't effective. So I decided doing one of those high efficiency ones where they spawn on pressure plates and get pushed out. But at the moment I think mainly just because I only have 32 blocks where they can actually spawn, it's really, really slow. So I'll show you what I got here. Again, most of this stuff's temporary. There's a wheat farm, there's a melon farm, which that's how many melons is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 melons, and I've made it so each plant has 4 spaces around it, so it's really good in terms of speed. Not so good in terms of max capacity, but it's not bad. This is just a cobblestone generator for when I want random excess cobble without having to go and mine it. Just flip that, it just keeps pumping out and you can keep mining it. Trees, again. You can see all these pillars are all pine logs, so. And I figured out a pretty cool system for doing this tree here with that thing, which we'll get to, or we might not. But anyway, for using bone meal for getting it quickly, basically bone meal, well, plant a sapling, bone meal it, climb up the ladder, jump on top, chop it down from the top, which is the fastest and easiest way of doing it, and then repeat. You go round and round and round doing that. So yeah, at the moment I have the drops pour out here, and I did get a creeper there, so we still get a few things. There's holes randomly in here. That's where I had the circuit. Originally I had an elevator because I wanted to have my station up there. I had it down here, then I wanted to move it up to see if that would fix some of that mob wandering problems. And so I built an elevator up there to take the items up. Didn't really work that well. Like, well, the elevator worked really nice, but it still wasn't very efficient in terms of produce. So that's, like I said, I've tried it with the high efficiency pressure plate piston pushing off. It uses a lot of pistons, and I might expand it later. At the moment, as you can see, our gunpowder, essence of bang, I've got quite a decent amount. It's not as much as I want to have for my project. I want heaps and heaps and heaps. But that'll do. I've also got a lot of arrows, which is handy because arrows are nice. Bones, yeah, bones are pretty good. String, yeah, we don't really care that much. Fun stuff. And with the new system, I won't actually be getting string because I'm not doing the spider-friendly one because that takes a lot more resources. And I don't really care because there's not a lot of uses for string. It's basically bows and fishing rods, and they don't use a lot. I can just go and kill spiders and zombie flesh. Doggy chow. So I've made up fancy names for all these things. Just for this place, at least. And yes, so I've done a lot of work lighting up, because I built this out in the middle of the ocean, so that there's no surface area that needs to be lit at all. But there's still a whole bunch of crazy and twisted and plexicated caves, which I currently have an entrance to right down this post. As you can see, the post goes up here, and this goes down the middle of it. I don't know if that's where I want to have it eventually, if I'll just completely say hang it and not have it eventually. That's where I got it at the moment. On those vines, I haven't planted all the way around. I want to do that though. But yes, down here there's just crazy caves and abandoned mines and stuff all over the shop. And I've done a heck of a lot of work lighting them up, and there's probably still a heck of a lot left to do, but it's definitely a big improvement on what it was. And I won't go show you a lot of it right now because you probably don't care. If I'm just showing off the space and I'll get lost and stuff. Here's just a big hole where I was just digging for some extra cobblestone to finish off that spawner. But yeah. So at the moment I think that's about everything that I've done in my world so far. All the main stuff. There's like a few areas. There's my sand quarry. But that's pretty boring, just a hole in the ground. There's places I found. There's a spot where there's a village and stuff, and there's big swamps. But nothing exciting that you need to see, look what I've done, or anything. So, I've sort of come to a bit of a break going, okay, no idea, I don't really feel like playing because I don't know what to do, but I'll think of something, and then now I'm doing videos of it. I'll probably get excited over it again, hopefully. But again, the tour is concluded. We'll see how much time this takes. This might be a decent sized episode on its own, so if it is, see you later and have a good one. Secret deleted scenes! Munch on a melon.